Welcome back. Today I'm going to be unboxing some corals and showing the acclimation process for them in my saltwater tank, because you can't keep coral in anything but saltwater. I got these corals from two different sellers on eBay. Their store names are Staub Aquatics and Reef Koi, and I think that's super cute. I really like that name. Anyway, I won them in auctions on eBay, but I'm really happy with my purchases. I think that corals are probably my favorite part of having a saltwater tank. I really like the reef aspect of them. That, you know, all the colors that they can give and the movement. I think they're really pretty and fun. I went ahead and grabbed my phone so I could say the specific names of the corals I ordered. Honestly, to me, all that matters is this is an acan, this is a zoanthid, this is a chalice, that kind of thing, because I need to know like what flow requirements they have and lighting and all of that. Other than that, I really don't care what their names are. The Kenya tree, which is the one that I got from Staub Aquatics, is just called a Kenya tree. I don't think there are any like special name Kenya trees. I could be wrong, I don't really know. And then from Reef Koi, I got my giant Paleothoa, which is called a double D, so I guess I have some booby corals. And then the Favia is a roar coral Favia, which it's red, so I guess red is angry war. I don't know. And the mushroom is a Bahama blue. I think it looks more purple than blue. It could just be my lights, but I don't think so. I don't know. I didn't get to record the unboxing of these three because I was not home when they got here, and Nick did it for me. But in here I have this one is my Paleothoa. They're related to zoanthids, which I already have one of. This one here, it's kind of turned on its side. Here is a mushroom. And this one is my Favia. So they're drip acclimating right now. The Pally did not like me getting in there and touching them. This is a way of quarantining them as well as acclimating them to the water conditions in my tank. So this is from a different seller. I'll put both of the links down in the description for who I got my corals from. And this is going to be a Kenyan tree. So I'm going to, just kidding, this is gonna cut it open and hopefully my coral will be alive. I think this might just be the heat pack. This also feels like a heat pack. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that is hot. That is definitely a heat pack. Oh, okay, so I think this is going to be the coral. Alright, so I'm gonna reach in here. Oh, it's in like a Tupperware. Cool. And here's my Kenyan tree coral. It looks like it fell off the styrofoam, so hopefully it's going to perk back up. Step one, we're going to turn off the lights. Now my tank looks ugly. And we're going to float this little guy in here for 15 minutes. Next, we're doing something called drip acclimation. And so what you have to do with saltwater fish, because they're so delicate and the parameters in the water that they're used to are not necessarily the same as the parameters in your tank. So I have this fancy drip acclimating thing. I want to say it's from Innovative Marine, but I could be wrong. I'll put a link to it also in the bio. Copeland? No. You want it to have the water that's already in, so I'm just going to pour that out. And there's my little coral. And so this is not enough water for it to be submerged. So I'm going to tilt the bucket, put you in there, and let it go. Now once this bucket gets half full, I'm going to dump the water, and then I'm going to leave enough so there's just enough water for the coral to be covered, and then start again. Alright, so now you know how to acclimate corals, kind of. I don't know, I wasn't really focused on doing this as a tutorial, per se, on how to acclimate corals. Maybe I'll do that at some point, but I think that if you're in a pinch and for some reason can only watch my videos, you understand the gist of how to do it. First, I'm going to talk about Staub Aquatics. I had no issues at all dealing with the shop owner. They were very nice to me, and I actually, some sellers on eBay, like, you can buy it at their price or do like a best offer, and so I sent in an offer for like $5 cheaper than they were selling, and they're like, yeah, sure, you can have the coral. And there was good communication, make sure that the coral was going to ship so it would get here at a time when I would be home. Now, I don't think that the owner actually shipped the coral when they said they would, because it was projected to arrive on a Wednesday morning, but it didn't get here until a Thursday afternoon. So I don't know if something happened like with the shipping, like with UPS or FedEx, I can't remember who they shipped it with, like if something happened with them, or if the seller just didn't send it at the same time. But it was kind of annoying because I have rehearsals until 5:50 on Thursdays, and our front office here at the apartment complex closes at 6. So I had to call ahead and make sure they could wait so I could come and get my coral, and just like zoomed on over here on my scooter, and like it ended up being fine, like I got my coral, whatever. And then the next problem came from, I think I mentioned it in the video, the coral had kind of like fallen out of how they had tried to ship it, and that kind of weakened the stock. And at that point I just didn't want to try to mess with trying to do a return or anything. I just, whatever, it'll be fine. And so I put the coral in here, and I don't know if it broke on its own or if one of the creatures broke it or what, but I came in the next morning and it wasn't on the plug anymore. And luckily when I looked around I found it and was able to kind of situate it in a way that it should be okay. But yeah, so not super happy about that. I'm not sure how much of it was the seller's fault, so I'm not going to like try to put complete blame on them. I think that it's a good quality coral, and you know, it's a little bit smaller than I thought the frag was going to be, but that's just part of buying frags. Like, it's not a big deal. So I would still recommend the shop, but I'd still recommend the shop, but just make sure like you communicate well, like when it's going to get there, so you can be prepared to get your coral so nothing bad happens. Now, reef koi, I'm just completely over the moon with. Like, I'm very pleased. I got these corals for great prices, with shipping like distributed between them, like working out the price. It came out so that each frag was around $20, which is a pretty dang good deal considering the quality of the corals that I got. and I made sure that like the auctions ended at different times on the same day, and so I just shot them a quick message and said, hey, I'm waiting to see if I win any other of your auctions before I pay, because they had this really great shipping deal so that you didn't have to pay like $30 shipping for each frag, because that would just get really expensive and they're all coming in the same box, so it wouldn't make any sense. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. And then when eventually all the auctions ended, I was already asleep, and so just the next morning they'd sent me a custom invoice that had the shipping worked out and everything, and I paid them and everything was great. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, as always, leave them below. If you have more experience than I do with reefing, which is probably a lot of people in the hobby, because I've only had this set up since I think September, so like 2.5 months, not very long. So if you have any tips, I'd love to hear them. Just try to be nice about it. Kind of should always try to be nice, just something I like to remind people of, because it's hard to be nice sometimes with how awful the world is. But be nice when you can. It'll make you feel good. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like me, please subscribe to my channel. Nick is calling me. Anyway, sorry, Nick called me. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like me, please subscribe and share this video and check out my other videos. If you want to have even more of me in your life, which might be a lot, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. I always have my usernames to those in the description, so you can check that out. There will also be links to both of these shops that I bought my corals from. To finish out this video while the outro music plays, I'm going to feed the tank and let you all watch, because my absolute favorite thing to do is just plop a cube in there and watch them go to town, because the two fish tear it apart, and then the hermit crabs get some, and the corals then get some, and I don't know, it's just really cool, and it's the perfect example of how closely intertwined their entire ecosystem is. So, I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!